Yo, what up, friends? Boxing news of the weekend. We have 3 fights of good boxers that we really want to talk about right now. So first of all, we're going to talk about Jerron Boots Ennis. Then we're going to talk about Jesse Bam Rodriguez, or whatever order you want. And finally, we're going to talk about
first. Let's do Bam first.
And then we'll talk about Keyshawn Davis as well. So let's start with Jesse Bam Rodriguez. And this weekend, he was actually on the undercard. Right, he was in the co-main event for the same card of the Jerron Ennis fight. So he was in a battle with Pedro Guevara and TKO'd him in the second round to retain his WBC junior bantamweight title. What are your thoughts on this excellent fighter?
I'll tell you what, I said this before. I said it when I was hanging out with a shout out to Skywalker and 86 Boxing. Papa Chunye, I was hanging out with them. We were chatting. I've said it here multiple times. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is in my top 10 pound for pound, hands down right now. Okay, this man, 24 years old. Okay, if he keeps going the way he's going, I don't know if he's going to stick around at was he at flyweight, super flyweight, where he's at? One of those weight classes I can't.
Junior bantamweight.
Junior bantamweight. So if he sticks around, like I can see him maybe getting fighting Ramon Chocolito, what's his name? Gonzalez. If he fights him, that's more of like just a legacy fight because he's taking out all the other big dogs like Estrada. He might fight Estrada again, but he's already changing of the guard has already happened. Okay. If he keeps moving up, if he goes to 122, okay, 118, 122, 126. That's a little big right now. It's a little big for britches. But if he keeps moving up, there are so many great fights. I would love to see if he can make it to 122. Okay, we got the monster over there. We got even 126. We got somebody like Lewis Neary. Somebody to just throw him out there, see what he does against him to kind of scale what he would do against a monster, or even Stephen Fulton if he goes up to 126. There's just so many.
A lot of good fights. Yeah.
The way he's projecting, I think he's be one of the top. He'll be top 5 pretty soon. Once more eyes are getting on these lower divisions, because the monster's already putting eyes on that lower division. And the way Jesse Bam Rodriguez is fighting, the man's exciting. What he did to Sonny Edwards, I mean, Jesus, he broke his orbital socket. No one's ever done that to the like. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I did that back in the day when I was playing Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I was playing I think it was Don Flamingo. He had said I punched him, broke his jaw. But that's
Don
the story.
Flamingo, that is great. I was just playing that the other day. I went to an arcade when Bruce was here in town. We went to one of those adult arcades, and they had the Punch Out. I played it. It was great. Brought back so many memories.
I heard you caught the rose that Don Flamingo threw out in the crowd. I heard you caught that. I smelled it.
Stupid. I hate you so much. Anyways, moving on. Catch a rose. I can't with you. Jerron Ennis defeated. I'm not even going to try his name. I don't.
Karen. It's called Karen Church. Yeah, it's Church. Okay. It's
unanimous decision to retain his IBF welterweight title. What are your thoughts?
This one is weird because Boots likes to do a lot of that show, like the Roy Jones style-esque of fighting until he fights somebody that's serious, and he's very conventional. With this fight, Karen was catching Boots with a lot of punches. I mean, he was clocking him. If he had any type of powder, he would go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And his dad Bozy was telling him, get him up out of there. I was like, dude, give him better instructions in the corner. Like, don't just say get him out of there. Tell him how to get him up out of there. Okay. I would like if he gone to the body more. But he knocked him down. I think it was in the 4th or 3rd round. He did knock him down. He had him woozy a little bit, but Boots was just getting tagged. I mean, the fight to me was closer than a lot of people thought had it. I thought it was a lot closer. If Karen had any type of power, Boots would have been up out of there. He was catching him flush with a lot of his footwork, his feints. He was catching them. And at the end of the fight, Boots was saying basically, it's time to move up to 154. We all know he wants to fight Terrence Crawford, but I doubt that's going to happen. I would love to see him at 154 if he does that matchroom versus Golden Boy, where they're pitting him against Virgil Ortiz, where Virgil Ortiz kind of ducked him at 147. and that's a fight I would love to see. But they're stupid. I would love to see that fight, but to me, this didn't really help Boots' stock per se, because his second fight, him fighting at home at Aberdeen, when the last fight, he looked okay. He didn't look bad, but this fight, he really didn't look that great. So maybe it's the pressure of fighting back at home. You know, for young fighters that want to be great, you got to be able to fight at home and sell out the crowd and look good doing it. I'm still a big Boots fan. I think he's going to be a multi-division champion, but this fight just wasn't it for me. I didn't think he looked that good. It wasn't that very dominating where it should have been. This is a second time fighting. Maybe that's the case, or maybe just fighting at home. But he's saying maybe the weight cut got him, or something. But he just, if that's the case, and none of the other 147 fighters want to fight you, maybe Brian Norman, they can get that fight going on. But just move on up to 154, and go from there. That's my opinion.
No, I mean, you've been following him for a long time, obviously, both of these fighters, and you know them very well. And it just seems like they need a step up in competition in my eyes. Maybe just a little bit more of a tougher challenge from some of these fighters that they're put up against. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The boxing scene right now, certain divisions, it's hard for fights to get made. You have some top fighters. I'll say it now. You have some top fighters that don't want to fight other top fighters. They're all about, hey man, I make money. Look at me, but they don't really care about their legacy. And then you have fighters that are being held down by their promotion and don't want to speak up. And Boots was one of those fighters to where he was PBC, but he wasn't PBC. He was kind of his own little thing. And now that he has a belt, he tried to fight Mario Barrios. That didn't happen. He wanted to fight Sionis. That didn't happen. The Brian Norman fight was going back and forth, but eventually didn't happen. So that still might happen. But if he's going to look like this at 154, at 147, he needs to move up. He definitely needs to move up.
Right. Okay. And then one other fight I did want to mention before we move into the Keyshawn Davis that I know you had a good story on. Another Boricua from Puerto Rico, Subriel Matias. And yes, I get it. It's probably another not so tough challenge, as it was a KO in the second round. But junior welterweight, young fighter. We love him on the islands. What do you think about him?
He got exposed when he fought Leo Paro. He's another one of those PBC fighters that went across the street and didn't really look good when he fought Leo Paro in Puerto Rico. Subriel Matias, everybody he fought, he knocked out or they quit. That was the thing, and he also killed somebody here in
that's crazy.
Here at National Harbor at MGM. At a fight card, the dude ended up dying. So he was the boogeyman at 140. And then when he fought Liam Paro, I was like, I've seen him before, but he wasn't, just got outclassed. So now he left Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and fought. So people were saying he fought at Gymnasium. I don't know where he fought at, but he fought in Puerto Rico and he won. Cool knockout, but he needs to get himself back going. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he can get it going, but you never know.
It wasn't Bayamon. I don't know what. It doesn't give an arena name, so probably some random gymnasium. But it wasn't Bayamon. I do have that information. And then, last but not least, let's go ahead and head into this huge fight that you wanted to talk about for a local, hometown cat of ours there in Norfolk, Virginia. Keyshawn Davis actually sold out the Norfolk Scope for 10,500 fans and ran a $1.5 million gate, is the information that I received from you. He beat him in a second round KO, in the main event to move to 12-0 with 8 KOs. What do you say about this young fighter?
Okay, Keyshawn is only 24, 25 years old? He's a young cat, okay?
He's 26.
26, okay, 26 years old. When I met Lamont Roach at the fight at the prospects card up here at Rosecroft, okay, Lamont Roach Sr., nice. I told him, I said, you can't go global if you're not local, okay? Keyshawn Davis and his brothers, they call him the businessman because his younger brother made his debut and won. His older brother won, who fought on the card, and he won. He comes out with the pride of the 757, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. The reason why I even watched boxing with his high school band bringing him. If you guys haven't seen that footage, I put it on my Instagram. But if you guys haven't seen that intro when he's walked to the ring with the high school band, a local high school band bringing him out, has a Norfolk jacket on, look like the Norfolk Tides colors. That's another team down there, Baltimore affiliates. He basically brought the whole 757 in one arena. I think they said it was 10.6, 10,600 people, sell out crowd. Everybody was on his side. That is when you bring the local crowd into the mix and people love you, people cherish you, people want you to do well. Okay. That is bringing people from all colors and creeds together, rooting for one man, representing them. Okay. That man represented the whole 757. If I was down there, I probably would have done a backflip, but y'all wouldn't have saw me because I've been in the back. Anyways, but yeah, he fought Ricardo Lemos, that was the dude's name. Who's actually
Lemos, yeah, Lemos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot. It doesn't matter first name, don't care. He came in overweight. Gustavo, I'm disrespecting him because he came in overweight. He was a damn near middleweight the day of the fight. Okay,
it's not like the guy from Breaking Bad, Gustavo.
Gustavo Fring. Shout out to him. But so he came in overweight, which is disrespectful. He's actually a good fighter. Okay, he fought Richard Hitchison, who's fighting Leon Paro for the belt, and that was a debatable fight. But Keyshawn did what you're supposed to do. Got him out there in the second round. Okay, like you mentioned earlier, 1.5 mil on the gate. So he is a proven person. He can sell out an arena. All right. So when he calls out Tank, what do you think Tank did? Tank said first he went quiet on Twitter, which is crazy because he always likes to talk shit when someone else is fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's his MO. But Tank was like, whoa, Tank's trainers were like, whoa, he needs to fight Andy Cruz, who's a prospect. I mean, he's a two-time gold medalist. He beat Keyshawn in the Olympics to get gold, and Keyshawn got silver. When that fight was actually kind of debatable. He's beaten Keyshawn 4 times in amateurs. But amateur fighting and pro fighting is two different things. Okay, it's a point system. It's totally different. So who knows how that fight would be? Why are you deflecting when you should fight Keyshawn? If you don't want to fight Lamont Roach, where that fight is getting possibly moved to another date, okay? Because hopefully they make it up here in DC. But it's just all these fighters, these champions, they don't want to fight the up-and-comers. It's stupid. This is the reason why certain divisions are in a standstill. No one really cares. Okay, Tank's last fight, he beat I forgot the dude's name. He knocked him out, and then now he's like, okay, I want to fight a champion. Tank, you're 30 years old. You're like a 30-year-old prospect. Okay, why don't you let Lomachenko? If that fight fell through, Lomachenko, he did the duck move. Okay, cool. Call out Barichek. Okay, call out who's the other 135 pounder? Shakur Stevenson. Call him out. Okay, instead of just going back and forth on Twitter. All right. So, but Shakur's probably gonna fight Zepeda pretty soon, because Zepeda's fighting Terrence Farmer on a Latino night in a Riyadh season on Saturday on DAZN. And that's kind of Zepeda's fight against a slick, code word for black fighter this Saturday.
Frank Martin.
Frank Martin, there you go. Yeah, Frank Martin. Yeah, so Tank, Keyshawn's calling you out. Now the world's going to put the pressure on you. I would love to see the Lamont Roach fight because he's a local fellow. You guys fighting the amateur twice. You got hopefully Lamont can shock the world. But, there's not that much buzz on that fight. They might be moving that thing up to DC now. So
so now that you mentioned that, you mentioned, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, but I just want to follow up. Go ahead. So you mentioned that obviously there's a lot of contention between fighters and between, not wanting to cross the street, not wanting to lose your zero, not wanting to, lose your future prize money, all these different things, all these different reasons why fighters choose not to fight the best competition. Can any of that change with the 3 fighters that we just talked about? Can they start getting the major fights, or will they even keep themselves from that sort of progression?
Well, only way that happens if we, the fans, put the pressure on them instead of accepting it. Okay. The issue is we have a lot of gazers, swallowers, and guzzlers of certain Like the fan bases of a lot of these fighters are like that. They're too afraid to put the pressure on their fighters. Okay, they'll rather just like, oh no, yeah, well, it don't matter. He getting money. You ain't getting that money. Why you worry? Why don't you have like when I grew up, the best wanted to fight the best. Point blank period. I mean, they made money, but they still wanted to fight each other. All right. Exactly. Only time there was a duck move, which I lost a lot of respect for, but then I finally realized why he did it was when Riddick Bowe put the belt in the trash can against Lennox Lewis. And I was like, why the hell would he do that? You know what I'm saying? But I realized it was a money thing. They were going to treat Lennox as the champion and treat him as like, you know, the up and coming fighter. But, you know, I found that out years later. But, you know, we want to see the best fight the best, you know, and I don't care if you sign whatever $1 million deal with Amazon. I don't care. I'm not getting $1 out of that. I want to see you fight somebody. It's called boxing. It's not called look at my wallet. So the people that defend that stuff, they just as wrong. The issue with a lot of this stuff is me yapping because I'm a nobody. Okay, I'm a cat. I'm not a casual, but I enjoy boxing. But with what we're doing with this podcast stuff and people on social media, the Commodores have the power as well as the people that know what the hell they're talking about. So there's a lot more Commodores that have a word when the word don't mean shit, but that's what everybody wants to listen to. Like that in every sport.
Yeah. And I disagree. I think I disagree with the first part of what you said, not the second part, because I think you are one of those people that many people should be listening to because of your knowledge of combat sports is so extensive. Make sure you are subscribed at Ball and Buds. Again, for all of our content, we are going to have a couple fan mailbag questions before we get out of here for the night. So the first fan mailbag question actually relates to someone you
hold on
just
before
discussing.
My bad to cut you off, Omar.
You're good.
If I go on and see how many people we have subscribed to the Ball and Buzz on YouTube, if it goes up by at least 10 to 15, I will take a shot of V8 on here the next time we go around. So y'all got time to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I'm coming over to your mother's house to bring my CPAP machine. But go ahead, Omar.
I like that. No, that's a great idea. So you heard him. He said that if you know what we have currently, I believe 116 subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to get that number up. We're trying to up there. Oh, we got.
I remember we had 20 back in the day.
Hey, so y'all make sure you go ahead and subscribe at YouTube. Help us out. If you subscribe and we get 10 subscribers, 20 subscribers before our next stream, which is in the next week or two, then Clubber D will drink a shot of V8 on here, which is completely disgusting. So go ahead and give us a thumbs up like that. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Amul. We're just trying to get paid and get a little famous for this. That's all. You know, just a little bit of moolah. Moving into our fan mailbag. The first fan question again relates to someone you were just talking about, Teofimo Lopez. This comes from Gigante Mexicano from San Jose, California. Shout out. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. He says, right, the Gigante. He says, what are up with the Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney rumors?
So there were rumored to be whatever fighting, but Teo came out today. He's down in Miami. He's going to be hosting or commentating on a Guillermo Rigondeaux, great Cuban fighter. I guess he's fighting this weekend, and he said that no contract has been sent, so kind of nixed those plans. That's a fight that should have happened years ago, but Teo been running from that fade. They even offered 10 mil, the most he's ever made, and split that up, and he's turned that down. So I don't understand what he wants to do, who he wants to fight. He keeps on calling out Terrence Crawford by calling him a monkey and things of that nacher. You're never going to fight Crawford. The last person you fought was a cab driver, and you look busted up when you fought him. Like Teofimo, like people talk about Devin Haney's pillow hands. When's the last time Teofimo knocked somebody out? So when's the last time he's looked good?
Hey, not wrong.
So
not wrong.
I mean, Keyshawn Davis and Teofimo are kind of going back and forth. And you look what Keyshawn does. He puts 10,000, almost 11,000 people, sells out arena when Teofimo could only sell about 2,000 people in Miami. So where are you when it comes to this boxing stuff? Okay, you're kind of irrelevant. But a Devin Haney fight would have been good. You know what I'm saying? Devin needs a bounce back after that butt whooping he got from enhanced Ryan Garcia. But you know, Is the fight going to happen? Probably not. Hope so. We'll see. But TFP will say it's not going to happen.
So as a follow-up to that, then what would be the next fight for the person we care more about because they have more potential, obviously? Devin Haney. What would he go to next?
I can see him getting the winner of Richard Hitchison and Leo Paro fight. They're fighting soon for that belt that Cyril Matias had lost to Liam Paro. I could probably see that or other 140 pounders. There's Teofimo has the belt, or he could fight Ryo, who beat Pitbull. You know, that fight could be out there. But you know, I think he's PBC. I don't know if Devin's a free agent. He's his own promotion company, so that's a fight he could do, or he could get his WBC belt back from Puella. I think that's his name, Puella. I might probably pronounce his name wrong, but who had beat Gary Anton. So he can try to get his WBC belt back. So it's he has options. I would just like to see him back in the ring. Okay, just get over the Ryan Garcia stuff. It is what it is.
Yeah,
you're not the first one to call him a cheater because it's the reason why Tank called him, said he was on steroids. That's why he drained him and all that stuff. People try to forget that stuff, but you know, move forward. You know what I'm saying? You are, regardless of what he does, he's already in the record books and he's going to be a Hall of Famer in boxing. So it is what it is.
I definitely want to see him fight again, and I'd like to go with the last person you said, Cruella DeVille, and her 101 Dalmatians.
I said Puella.
I know, what a horrible joke. I know, it was good though. I tried. All right, moving on to our next fan mailbag question. This comes from the Peruvian Paddington from the UK. It's great. I know you're gonna laugh about that later because remember, Paddington's from Peru. Anyways,
he is. You're right. Yeah.
If y'all didn't know that, check out that fun fact that Paddington the bear is actually from Peru, not the UK. Anyways, Canelo is rumored to possibly fight Chris Eubanks overseas in London. What are you hearing about this?
Yeah. So I think they're trying to do a Cinco de Mayo. Eubanks just fought on the last card overseas, that rider season stuff. Eubanks, I mean, he's an interesting fighter. It's a fight that no one wants to see, no one cares about. His father was a great Chris Eubanks senior, and he was the thing with this fight is just no one cares what Canelo's going to do unless he's going to fight David Morrell or David Benavidez. And obviously that's not going to happen. So it's kind of like, why are you still fighting these people that we don't want you to fight? I would rather, even though he'll win, I'd rather be Terrence Crawford. Okay. Give the brother a chance. Okay. Give Terrence Crawford a chance of that, of greatness. You know, he 2 Hall of Famers fighting each other. Canelo really has never had to work for much in his boxing career. I don't care what anyone says. When you fight Canelo, you're fighting not only him, you're fighting the judges as well. If it's not Terrence Crawford or David Benavidez or David Morrell or even Arthur Beterbiev, I don't care who it is. That's just my personal opinion. But there's some smoke with this fire with these 2 guys fighting Cinco de Mayo around my birthday time of year. So I hope it doesn't happen, but I think it will.
Okay.
Because Conor Ben was trying to call out Chris Eubanks, came in the ring and all that stuff. Now he's kind of calmed down on that, calling Chris Eubanks out now that he's free to fight in the UK again and calling out other 147 pounders instead of Chris Eubanks, who's a higher weight class. So,
okay. Well, I mean, you usually have your ears to the streets on these sort of things, so we are going to take your word for it that we may see this fight in the future, but obviously I think most of us would want to see, even though I know where you stand on who you think would win. But obviously, just for the no more than just the novelty fact, it would be cool to see Canelo versus Crawford. So let us know in the comments who you think should be next for Canelo, who you think should be next for Crawford or Haney. If you have an opinion on any of those, go ahead and throw it in the chat. Also, make sure you're subscribed at Ball and Buds, and if you're watching this later on the replay, throw it in the comments. Clubber D and I always respond to every comment that comes through. So also, if you want to throw your picks up there, your UFC or your Tyson Paul picks, do that too. We can start recording a little fan score sheet and see how people compete against Clever D. That'd be kind of cool. But let's get into our.
I'd murk all y'all.
He would.
Everyone listening, I will beat y'all.
All right, let's get into the last fan mailbag question of the day before we get out of here. This is from your biggest fan, aka moi, with no pause. If Amanda Serrano were to win this fight against Katie Taylor this weekend, you put out a Puerto Rican top fighter short, which, by the way, it's only a minute. I want everybody to go to YouTube and watch it. It's really good. And the Mexican one has over 1,000 views. So people really like that one. Go check out the shorts on top Puerto Rican fighters ever, the top 5. Clubber D had Amanda Serrano as a honorable mention. Would she move into the top 5 with a win in this match?
100%. If she wins this fight, and if it's in a amazing fashion, I would definitely put her in the top 5 of top Puerto Rican fighters of all time. I mean, there's no way I can ignore, you know what I'm saying? Like, gotta put her up there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta throw her in there. So 100%, yeah, she'd be up in there. If she knocks Katie Taylor out, say in the first 4 rounds, and it's like ass whooping central. Like if she knocks the haggis or whatever shepherd's pie out of Katie Taylor, I don't know what they eat in Ireland, but if she knocks that out of her and put some seasoning on her, and Katie Taylor wakes up and says, "Where's the zone come from?" If she does that, oh my God, yeah, she's definitely up in there, definitely.
And Amanda, when you do no, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, Katie Taylor, you hit her so hard, she might wake up. It's like, oh, she might have Goya in one hand and Bandia in the other hand. Sometimes zones, oh man, she might start seasoning her food. You never know. So I'm telling you, if that happens, yeah, she's definitely in top 5.
Damn, that is awesome. Yes, I didn't actually know your answer to that question, which makes it all better because you set up the tease for me as well. That is tremendous. Thank you so much for that great analysis. Do you have anything else on UFC, MMA, or boxing for the fans before we jet for the night?
They have a Riyadh season Latino night this Saturday on the Zone. I think it's overseas in Saudi. Only fight I would say, check out William Cepeda going against Terrence Farmer, because Cepeda should be fighting Shakur Stevenson next. I'm kind of eager to see how Cepeda looks against somebody slick, aka black fighter, so they'd like to say.
Right.
I think Gilberto's fighting Ramirez. He ain't that good anymore. But yeah, they got that on. It's a lot of, basically this weekend's very action packed with a lot of MMA. So starting Friday, tell your wives, your girlfriends, for your women, tell your husbands, your boyfriends, your side pieces that you're busy. You're watching boxing, okay? And if your wife or your mom goes out somewhere and they're watching boxing, it's most likely with me.